Hello and welcome. In this video we will discuss duality. Duality is a phenomenon in which each linear programming problem has an associated dual problem. Sometimes it is very difficult to solve the original linear programming problem. We then convert the original problem into a dual problem and we can solve that problem to get the solution of the original problem. On this slide, we have two definitions. One is primal problem. A primal problem is the original formulation of the problem is known as the primal problem. Second one is dual problem. So as every linear programming problem has an associated linear programming problem with that, that is known as a dual problem. So relationship between primal and the dual. The optimal solution of primal can serve the optimal solution of the dual, and the optimal solution of the dual is also the optimal solution of the primal, and they are same. Here is what is the requirement for the conversion. For converting a primal into dual, there is a requirement the original problem, primal problem, that should be in canonical form. For example, if the original problem is of maximization, then all less than or equal to constraints should be involved in that problem, and non-negativity requirements should also be satisfied. If the primal problem is in minimization, for example, then all the constraints involved in that problem should be of greater than or equal to, and non-negativity constraints should be satisfied. In this slide, there is an example of finding a dual of a primal. So primal is given in a maximization form, and its dual is in its minimization form. In primal we have two variables and three constraints. These are the non-negativity constraints, whereas in dual we have two constraints and three variables. In the next slide, I'll explain how can we find a dual from a primal. In this slide, we explain how we can convert a primal into a dual. Rule number one. The number of variables in dual, they are equal to number of variables in the primal. For example, in primal, we have three constraints. Then number of variables in the dual are 3, u1, u2 and u3. Similarly, how many constraints in the dual? How can we decide? They are equal to the number of decision variables in the primal. So number of decision variables in the primal are 2, and so the number of constraints in the dual will be 2. How to write the objective function of the dual problem? If the original problem is of maximization, then its dual objective function will be of minimization instead of maximization. So what are the coefficients of the variables in the dual? The coefficients of the variables in the objective function, they are the right hand sides. They are the right hand sides of the primal problem. So 150 is the right hand side of the first constraint in the primal. 150 will become the coefficient of first variable in the objective function of the dual problem. Similarly, 20 will be the coefficient of the second variable, and 300 is the coefficient of the third variable. So writing constraints of the dual. The constraints of the dual are equal to 2 as they are equal to the number of variables in the primal. Here is the first constraint. First constraint is 3u1 plus 0u2 plus 8u3 greater than or equal to 50. How can we write this constraint? Please look at this rectangle. We take the coefficients from these terms and we multiply with the variables and we generate the first constraint by the first column from the primal. Similarly, from the second column of the original problem from the primal, we construct the second constraint of the dual. For example, here is 5, 1 and 5. So we write 5u1 plus 1u2 plus 5u3 greater than equal to 40. So in constraint number 1 of the dual, this 50 is from the primal objective function. That's the first coefficient from the objective function of the primal, and here's the second coefficient from the objective function of the primal. So if we consider these constraints in the primal, we had 3 constraints basically, and then for these constraints we should have 3 dual variables, and we have u1, u2 and u3. And for 2 variables in the primal, we have 2 constraints. We have 2 constraints in the dual. This is how to write the coefficients in the constraints of the dual problem. Just take the transpose of the coefficients of the original problem to write the coefficients of the variables for the dual constraints. So first row will become first column. Second row here is the second column, and the third row of the original matrix of the coefficients of the primal is the third column of the coefficients of the dual problem. Certain things may be noted for a dual and primal relationship. We can solve a dual problem and compare its solution with the primal. Second thing is dual may be solved by converting its objective function in our current case of maximization, and from OR1 we know how can we convert a minimization objective function into maximization by multiplying the objective function by -1. And optimal solution of the primal is the same as the optimal solution of the dual. For example, the solution for the dual is 1980, and if we solve the original problem or primal problem, its solution is also 1980. So they have the same solution. So this provides us the flexibility and easiness of solving the problem by converting one form into another if it is needed and required. Another example. Here is a minimization problem. That's the primal one. So primal problem is in canonical form, and it has 2 variables and 2 constraints. These are the non-negativity constraints. Its equivalent, a dual or associated dual, is a minimization is converted into maximization, and the right hand sides of the primal, they become the coefficients of the objective function of the dual, and these values in column like 5 and 3, they become the coefficients in the first constraint of the dual. Similarly, 1 and 7, like -1 and 7, they become the coefficient in the second constraint of the dual problem. The right hand side of the dual problem, they come from the coefficients of the primal problem or the original problem. So the problem was in canonical form, and we have generated its dual canonical equivalent form. Here is another example of a dual primal relationship. We have a original or primal problem of minimization, and we see that all the constraints are not of greater than equal to. So we can say the given problem, original problem, is not in a canonical form, we have to convert this problem into canonical form first before converting into its dual form. So we take the first constraint and we multiply it by -1, and in this way we can convert the less than equal to inequality into greater than equal to inequality. Second one is as it is, it's okay. And third has been split into two inequalities. In this case, we can observe first we write the third constraint into two inequalities, and then these inequalities are incorporated in the canonical form of the original problem. So here is when we find a problem which is not in canonical form, then first we convert into in its canonical form, and then we find the dual problem of the original problem. Here is another problem from your text, problem number 19. Original problem is of maximization. It has 4 variables, but it's not in canonical form due to first and second constraint. These constraints should be of less than equal to. So first we will convert the given original problem or primal problem into its canonical form. Here is its canonical form, and in this canonical form problem is of maximization and all constraints are of less than equal to. There are non-negativity constraints. So this satisfies the requirement for canonical form. Then we can generate its or develop its dual problem. As we have four variables in the original problem, then we must have four constraints in the primal. And if we observe, there are four constraints in the original problem, and we should have four u1 dash and u1 double dash, u2 and u3, four variables for the dual problem. Here is a practice problem for you. Please find its dual of this primal problem. Thank you.